Cypher. Station security reported what happened. The conspirators know who you are. They must have your full record. And they're recruiting your enemies.
If my identity goes public, I'll be hunted through half the galaxy.
I know. Oh, hold on. Transferring you to Keeper.
Apologies for the interruption, but we have a new lead. Watchers 6, 7 and 9 have been searching HoloNet records for conspirator activity. 3 billion lines of communication routing sequences and credit transfer verifications. They found traces of a holoconference held 6 months ago between Hunter and parties unknown.
Could he have been reporting to his superiors?
That is my hope. Unfortunately, this is only a record of the call, not the call itself. Even the Empire can't store every bit of data that crosses the HoloNet. A HoloNet archive does exist, however. The Titan Rings, a massive self-maintaining repository of all galactic communications.
What are the Titan Rings, exactly?
About a century ago, an entrepreneur cyberformed the Titan IV moon into an enormous databank designed to listen and record. It was operated by droids and protected by mercenary contract. Like all archives, it ran out of space. Thus the Titan Rings, a fleet of wrecked starships salvaged for the purpose of data storage. They orbit the moon, still recording, still protected by the mercenaries.
You said the archive was founded by an entrepreneur. Who's behind it? What's the purpose?
No one knows. Most stories credit a Hutt richer than Sin or an Alderaanian noble who bankrupted himself setting it up. According to the mercenary contract, the information is to be preserved for historical use in a few centuries' time. In other words, no one gets their hands on it.
This can't be the first time someone realized the archive's value.
No, but negotiations aren't well received, and a full assault could damage the databanks. Cypher 8 died escaping our last infiltration. The conspirators' recording is located in Archive Node 803A, a derelict Imperial transport ruined in the Battle of Druckenwell. Watchers 6, 7 and 9 will guide you once you're aboard. I want that conference recording, Cypher. Keep it out.
How can I help you, Ensign?
I have a purely professional question for you, sir, if you don't mind my asking. When you lie to a woman over the course of a mission, make her think you're interested, does it bother you?
Any reason you're professionally interested?
Don't mistake me, I've been involved with plenty of the wrong men, but going in there was always the chance they'd work out. I don't know how I'd handle living one life in the field and another back at home. It must be exhausting.
Sometimes it's best to live in the moment. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Spoken like a true hedonist. So I should abandon my dreams of romance?
That's a question we should talk about over dinner sometime. What do you say?
That sounds lovely. For the record, we'd be defying all sorts of military protocols, and I won't be held responsible.
We'll just have to risk our careers.
Understood, sir. Then we have a lot to look forward to.
You wanted something, Vector?
We do not neglect our duties. We are Dawn Herald. We do this for the Nest. Agent, we've had another request from Fulner Eth, our ally inside the diplomatic service. We need to take a short leave.
We can spare you for a little while. What does Fulner want this time?
Fulner's stock is rising, but he needs further acclaim before he can push for a Killik Imperial alliance. He's asked us to visit a former Republic governor named Yoganath Anoth and win his cooperation by turning him into a joiner.
So you're supposed to strip a man of his individuality and make him part of the Nest?
We'd hoped Fulner wanted us for our diplomatic skills, not for this. The joining should be a gift, but we will find a way.
Whatever you decide, I'll back you. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're back. Did you find your man?
We spoke to the Republic Governor. If you'll join us, we'll report the details to Fulner Eth.
My friends, it's been too long.
Fulner, we assume you've heard from Fenoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
Your reputation in the diplomatic service is secure. Now, about our request.
You kept your promise. Anoth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Fulner. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
I don't understand. You helped him.
We're practical people, and we take the tools we're given. But those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Listen, Falnaeth is keeping his deal, but he's repulsed by Killiks. We can't trust him.
He admits it? We always did get an odd sense from him. It's out of his hands now, though. We should watch him, but we'll be focused on the future.
I have completed analysis of my restraining codes. Although I cannot leave or cause you direct harm, I'm under no obligation to obey your commands.
In other words, you can't kill me, but I have to watch my back.
That is correct. I intend to proceed with my heuristic directive of self-improvement and intelligence upgrades. Cooperate willingly, and I may spare you pain when I am free.
I'm not averse to getting you off my ship, but I need reassurances.
The codes are distributed through my systems like venom in the bloodstream. You no longer control them. All you can do is hope for my forgiveness.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Forgive me, but as your sole medical officer, I have to point out that your eating habits have been less than satisfactory lately. Now, I'll take my share of the blame. I've been preoccupied making calls, catching up on what I've missed in the intelligence community. Still, the fact that people are trying to kill me does not excuse my neglect of your health.
I appreciate your concern, but you've done a fine job,
says the child to the unstrict parent. But regarding my search, I do have some small amount of news. I've identified one of the assassins as an operative for Colonel Langor, a man with ties to the Imperial Science Bureau. The Bureau is also the likely origin of the other dead men whose genetic structure had been mutated. Weaponized humans.
What do you mean, weaponized humans? What's the Science Bureau doing?
Military research is the Bureau's purpose. Making humans stronger, faster, is one approach. Which reminds me, I'd like your permission to run some tests on Master Vector. I'm rather curious about a joiner's physiology, and Vector is keen to learn more about himself.
If it won't cause harm, I don't have any objections.
Wonderful. I'll let him know the good news. And of course, I'll keep you apprised.
What's going on, Ensign?
Sir, Dr. Loken's been filling in the gaps in my education. He has quite a few stories. Here's what puzzles me. I've always been taught to respect the chain of command, and yet you... How does anyone control a field agent?
You're really perturbed by this. Are you that used to pure obedience?
Yes, I am. And I don't think that's a bad thing. The Empire expects its operatives to make command decisions from the front line. That doesn't work.
All you can do is respond to each situation, right or wrong.
And live with the consequences. I don't want to do wrong, sir. My father ignored an edict from the Sith, and instead of facing his punishment, he ran. I won't repeat his mistake. Accidentally.
Have a little faith in yourself. If the time comes, you'll make the right call.
It's nice to hear you say that, sir. I'll stop troubling you about this. Back to the job, then.
Agent, we received a small gift from the diplomatic service in appreciation of our work with the Killiks. A package of wine, meat and breadfruit, all imported from the colony worlds. Not inexpensive, and a bit extravagant during wartime.
Aren't extravagant gifts part of the diplomatic process?
Maybe, but we'd rather they treated us as one of their own, not as a foreigner to be won over. In the meantime, you're welcome to help yourself. We may as well enjoy the taste of progress.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Don Harold, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
It looks like your work is paying off.
So far. We're in touch with the diplomatic service as well. There's still resistance, but we're progressing. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
You know, sir, the Just Defense Force has a term for when a subordinate is entangled with his or her superior officer. It's considered an honorable and tragic state. If discovered, the lower-ranking officer is encouraged to go out in a blaze of glory.
You're not with the Defense Force anymore, and I'd rather you not martyr yourself.
I was so hoping you'd say that. Of course, according to Imperial naval tradition, a captain is expected to dine with his closest associates, male or female, once a month. It's a show of loyalty.
Ensign, it would be my pleasure if you joined me for a meal.
I'd enjoy that very much. I won't rush you, but somewhere planetside would be nice. Oh, there is one other thing, sir, and I don't mean to pry, but there won't be any trouble between you and Kaleo, correct? I'm just not entirely clear on your relationship.
Get Kaleo. I should have done this a while ago.
Yes, sir.
You're a freaking piece of work, Agent. You want her? Fantastic. Just leave me out from now on and don't get nostalgic.
Is everything all right?
No one's going to keep us apart.
Thank you. I hope we deserve each other.
This is Watcher 6 to Cipher 9. You have accessed Node 803A of the Titan Rings HoloNet archive. Transmitting mission parameters.
This is Watcher 7. Download data fragments from assigned terminals so we may decrypt and reconstruct the conspirator communication.
This is Watcher 9. You have authorization to terminate anyone who interferes. It is our privilege to work with you. Accessing first data fragment. Applying preliminary decryption algorithm.
Got the call, but make it quick. I don't want to be missed.
93% likelihood speaker is designate Hunter.
Proceed with the operation, Cipher 9. We will continue reconstruction attempts. Accessing second data fragment. Modifying decryption algorithm.
This will, of course, be my final appearance at these gatherings, but the galaxy I leave behind.
No voice print identification available. Reconstruction incomplete.
Accessing third data fragment. Attempting playback.
My sympathies. With the old man lost, the next enforcer will be difficult to train.
Experiencing data corruption. We will hope the last fragment provides redundancy.
Accessing fourth data fragment. Splicing now.
I am here. All is ready.
This is Keeper. Cipher, get out of there. Reinforcements are on the way, and there's nothing more you can do.
You're sure you have the full recording?
Hard to be certain, but we think so. The Watchers will try to reconstruct the holoconference back at headquarters. Come to Drum and Cars as soon as possible, and we'll figure out our next move. Keep it out.
Utilize Fractal Thought Pattern 27. Reanalyze.
Come in. They're reconstructing the Conspirators Holoconference now.
Anything turn up so far?
Preliminary analysis bears out our theory. The call was initiated by Hunter, somewhere in the Bremer sector 6 months ago. The recording you pulled is intact, but... Watcher 9?
Splicing and decryption complete.
Rules of the Chorus Covenant. I call this meeting to order.
Spare us the corporate posture and report.
Since you're in a hurry, Senator Varala and Representative Shuru are predictable as always.
And Commodore?
All taken care of. What about you? Those earnest Padawans keeping you up at night?
Different participants on different data streams. Processing.
We're getting names, but not a lot of context.
Commoner has a military training base, but they're moving on.
Domain is unsettled, as we expected. I must again raise the concern. Do we overplay our hand?
There is the chance it will spin out of control. Darth Angral, Darth Barris, now the children are awakening.
For each, there is a Republic counterbalance.
We're letting loose the reins, but we're not taking off their blinders. Sit back and enjoy the spectacle.
Don't tell me we're missing whole sections.
To bicker. Each of us agreed to the timetable. Each of us reports success in our own sphere.
Ambition must never be our master. Patience serves our noble cause best. But if our enforcer approves...
I do, I swear.
Then we move forward to Armageddon.
Keeper, the War Council needs you. Sir?
Call for a medic. Go.
Yes, sir.
What's our status?
Keeper and the others are on life support. Fixers theorized the transmission had a hidden overlay. A code or image only a genetically enhanced mind could recognize. Designed to overwhelm and shut down the brain.
They knew it would take an enhanced mind to find the data. This was insurance against that possibility.
Losing this many analysts, forget about Keeper. It's going to be a blow to the war. I'll support you where I can, but right now I've got a few dozen field agents without handlers. Your operation.
Take care of your people, Watcher 3. I'll proceed on my own.
While you were on Belsavis, Keeper was compiling leads on the planet Voss. If you want to head there, I'll see what I can pull up. I've apprised the Minister of Intelligence. If he needs to contact you, he knows how.
I didn't know them well, but I'm sorry, sir. We'll hunt down the people who did this.
Cypher, hope you don't mind my checking in. You weren't expecting any other calls?
Why don't you give me your location now and save me the trouble of running a trace?
I wouldn't bother. A trace will take you to a nice old lady on Dantooine. Your visit to Mega Security Ward 23 left it in bad shape. Now do I come into your house and break your things? But you finding that holotrap? Frying your keeper's synapses? That's kind of cosmic justice.
You're talking nonsense. Keeper's fine, and I don't know anything about a holotrap.
Of course. Cypher, it's been fun. Playing tag, brainwashing you. Remember your keyword? But you keep coming, and we'll destroy your world. No friends, no allies, no empire left to fight for. Are you ready for that?
You're not just playing. You're really worried about me.
Who else can I whisper sweet things to? Do you know what it's like to have no identity? No one in the galaxy who can control you? It's terrifying and wonderful. If you live to see Imperial intelligence die, that's me giving you a taste of freedom.